Okay, hi. What we're going to do here is take the Redux hypermorph exercise and convert the Hyperscript code to use a module called yo-yo. This might be a bit ramshackle because it's going to be a little bit on the fly. I haven't done this ahead of time, but we'll see how it goes. If I get really stuck, then I'll pause the video and fix it. But hopefully we can just do it all in one hit. Cool. Let's have a real quick look at the documentation for yo-yo. A tiny library for building modular UI components using DOM diffing and ES6 tagged template literals. That sounds confusing. It's not. It's actually pretty beautiful. Here is an example of it at work. Yo is the yo-yo function, and then we wrap what looks like HTML in backticks. So the backticks are just familiar ES6 template literals, which we've seen before. And there's one other extra nice thing, because these are just ES6 template literals, we can embed JavaScript within this HTML. So we should see an example down here doing that. Here, this is an example. Here's our backticks, got an li, and then in here we just use our ordinary JavaScript template literal to put the item in there. So super useful, and we're going to see if we can make this work today. Neat. Let's go have a look over here. Let's go npm install yo, and we'll save it. Actually, save dev, I think. Yo-yo. Now, you know the exercise pretty well now, hopefully. So, if you step back for a second and have a think, like, where are we going to be swapping out the code? Well, where are we using Hyperscript? We're using it in our templates, right? So, hopefully, we're not going to have to touch much other than our views, and we're just going to be deleting our Hyperscript stuff. So this is the app at work. Let's see if we can do this. Yo-yo. So I'm calling it HTML rather than yo-yo. I've seen this used in other frameworks. It's a little bit easier to understand than yo. If you haven't heard of yo-yo, then you don't know what it is. So HTML seems nicer. Okay, well, why don't we just take one little part and see if we can get that working. Don't know if this is going to work just straight up substituting in. Don't think I can slot Hyperscript in there. Let's try. So let's see, HTML, backticks, because I want to put a template string in there, and then I want to have a div with class equals cart total. And this needs to be in strings because this should just look like HTML, and then doesn't have any other attributes. It's going to have total and then cart total and then the closing div. Could probably remove that X there. Okay. We'll see if this breaks. I'm expecting it will. Ah, it doesn't. So if I delete that one, it still works. Yay! Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna move this one up here and port over the cart quantity. So it's a div, it has the ID, cart quantity, and it says quantity in cart, and then it says cart QT. So now we just need, yay. So let's delete the hyperscript one. And here we have, yep. So we have a UL. Oh, and we're mapping. Okay. Well, this is our first introduction to nesting elements within elements using Yo-Yo. So let's see if we can do this whole thing. Let's have a UL. It has the ID of product and cart. Doesn't have any extra text, but it has a bunch of nested LIs. So so let's close out our UL. This looks good, but inside UL we need some stuff. So let's I'm move that in. Oops. And here we want to put all our LIs in there. So to do this, we need to jump into JavaScript land using the $ brackets, and then we're going to products and cart dot map, and we're just going to fat arrow it, product maps to, and then we need to return DOM elements again. So we're jumping back in here, HTML, an li item which has, yeah, I think this feels good. Close the li, close the tag, and then we just need product.name. Okay, this looks pretty good. I don't think I've made any large changes, so oops. It looks like it still works. Let's have a quick, yep, still works. Now, there's probably one thing you're noticing here. We're calling, you might notice that we call HTML here, and here, and here. Oh, and we still haven't converted over this H either. So let's finish doing that, and then we're going to like refactor it a little bit and tidy it up. So we have HTML. So I'm trying to kind of convert this line up here. HTML backticks. We've got a div, and it has the ID of cart. Cool, doesn't have any other attributes. Oh, and it just has the string your cart. Oh my god. Sorry. Your cart. So this. Then we close out the div. And then we need a closing backtick as well for our HTML. Alright. Then the other parts were sort of nested inside that. Yeah, they were. Just going to inspect element on this and make sure. Stretch this down a little bit. So the cart, oh yeah, okay. So within the cart div, we have your cart and then all the other things. Okay, great. So actually, we need to do something like this. Let's move this in here. And then just going to move this down. Just trying to get the formatting looking somewhat okay. Then pop this in here. So you can see really what I'm trying to do is just copy exactly what I have in this block. I'm going to delete inside the backticks. I'm going to paste it. Get rid of that. Okay, and, oh, we still need the closing div here. Okay. And then I'm just going to put this backtick on the same level as the HTML. And it's broken because I'm not returning it. And it's back. Woo! Okay. Looks like it all still works. Yeah, it does. So this is really nice, right? Like, all of a sudden we get to write what looks like very familiar HTML without the kind of extra friction of using HyperScript. We can remove it as a dependency now. Okay, let's do a commit. Convert cart to use yo-yo. Nice. Alright, well, for extra fun, let's have a crack at the products. Oh my god, it's huge. Oh well. This is going to be more of the same, so if you get the idea on your board, feel free to turn me off. If you want to watch more, then let's go. Yo-yo. And also, to help my thinking a lot, I'm just going to inspect element because I get to see what's rendered in the DOM here. And it's much easier than decoding HyperScript if I just think about the structure of the HTML I want. Return HTML and backticks, and then what do I want? Well, I want a div with class equals product name yeah, that's right. And then I don't have any other attributes to put in there, so closing div. And then in here, what do we need? Well, we need more of our oh yeah, so we're actually mapping at this point in here. I skipped ahead a little bit. I need div class products. So this is the top level, and then we had this string, just products, colon, and then in here we did mapping. So jump into JavaScript land again, products dot map product split this over multiple lines. I think is a good idea, and we need to return HTML backticks. Yep. And in here, then we're going to have a div, we're going to have a few of them, and this one has class product name. product price, product details, then we have buttons after that. So product name, product price, product details, and then change this into a button. And my buttons, they had classes as well. Okay. So the first buttons class was details. The second one was add to cart. And the third one was... it still has the same class, add to cart. Should be removed from cart. Not really, I don't think I'm even using the classes in the CSS here, but in terms of just like porting it over kind of verbatim, I think this is the nicest way to do it. Okay, now what is contained in all these bits and pieces? Well, product name, this one's going to be pretty easy. JavaScript land product.name. So I'm just going to copy this, pop it in here, put this one in here. That seems pretty good. Product name, price, and show details. This one has a class and it also has an on-click handler. The on-click is going to be equal to what? Well, it's going to be the dispatch. So we can just steal this code here. That's going to end right about there. Nice. This is looking pretty good. On click equals and again I'm going to copy paste from here. On click, then on this function which dispatches a remove from cart. Oh no, it should be the toggle, the add to cart one. Jumping ahead here. Appreciate this is probably a bit boring, but if you're still here, well, that's your fault. So whatever. Just saying. And the last one. Okay. On click equals JavaScript land, and then paste that stuff in. So looks like we've got 3 actions we're dispatching. I'm going to make this a bit easier to read. Okay, HTML. Alright, let's unfull screen it. Looks like I made an error. Multiple root elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. So, fair enough. I'm trying to see what it's being upset about. Maybe we can get an error. Not so much. So this is a common problem which will come back to bite you, especially when you're doing React as well. And Yo-Yo has the same problem, is that it doesn't let you return. It doesn't let you return elements. How to say it? Yo-Yo can only return single elements. It can have things nested inside them, but the top level element, you can only return one top level element. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So And the problem is here, that this HTML here is returning a whole bunch of elements. It really wants them nested. So we can fix that though. So we can just nest this, or nest all the rest of this in another div. And then we'll just move all this stuff in a little bit. So rebuild it, and we almost got back. Oh yeah, it's that our button our buttons don't have any content in them. So any like description. So this is going to be details. This is going to be add to cart, is it? Yeah. And this is going to be removed from cart. Let's go look. Oh damn. Does it work? Yes. Does details work? Oh, nearly. That doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? Oh yeah, I know why it doesn't work. It's because in our map, we probably needed to pass along the index. Is that what's going on? The details. Oh, product dot. Oh, I see what I did wrong. So I didn't properly copy out this. So product dot show details question mark. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. So we're just gonna do a little bit of stealing from here, and then just delete the rest of the stuff here. So to make this easier to read, I'm going to hide my nerd tree thing with the structure. Save it. Let's check that it works. Details. Yeah. Okay, so now all we can do is, or now what we get to do, I want you to be over there, and then I want to delete all this stuff. Yeah. So if you're anything like me, you probably find that a bunch easier to read than using Hyperscript. Great. Let's do a commit. Let's say products template uses yo-yo. Wow, that was pretty fun. Oh, we could get rid of that as well. Alright, cool. I think that's pretty much the end of porting over. So let's leave it there. Great. Thanks for watching. See you.